$2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Carmine Bianco here from WagerTalk.com with our Tuesday edition of Stoppage Time. Today, 4 big games in Europe. It is Champions League and Europa League semifinals. We've got 4 games on the card: Real Madrid and Chelsea, that is being played today. PSG, Man City, that is being played tomorrow. Then on Thursday, we have Man United, Roma, and Villarreal and Arsenal. 4 EPL sides still in this competition, both competitions, and we are going to cover all 4 of them. With me are my co-hosts, Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo, and from WagerTalk.com, it's Nick Borrman and the Irishman, Kevin Dolan. Let's bring him in. Kev, how you doing? You are on a fantastic roll, my friend. Tell us about it and tell us what you got going this week.
Yeah, nice little 44-28 run right now in soccer, Carmine, and we have a 5% Champions League play up tonight. We got a 4% play up in Champions League tomorrow night, and we also got a Europa League double pack up on Thursday. So, you know, instead of getting all of them, a 3-day pass is probably your best option right now, as we're really liking the card.
Awesome. And for those out there in North America, when he says tonight, remember he is in Ireland, so it is evening over there. These games go at 3 o'clock Eastern time for us here in North America, or most of North America. Nick Borrman, how you doing, my friend? I noticed you had a couple monster days. Tell us about it and what you have going on this week.
Well, yeah, it was a roller coaster for the weekend. I was awful on Saturday. I couldn't throw a dart at a barn, and then Sunday I hit everything I put out there, and then yesterday I had just one 3-team parlay, and Porto couldn't win the end leg of that. So, but that's okay. Looking to get going into this week, and excited about the Champions League and the Europas, and then still upset about that Colorado Avs loss last night, 5% play in the NHL, but we won't talk about that.
No, and listen, I'm going to talk about it on Puck Time. You may want to listen to it. You may not want to listen to it. The whole world was on a play, and including myself. And usually when that happens, it's our producer will tell you if the consensus is on one, you got to go the other way. But with that said, I still think it was the right play. So we're all fine there. All right, here he is, the man. I don't know if he's in Greece. I don't know if he's in Spain. He is still the exact score savant. One of my favorite people, Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. My friend, how you doing?
Doing great. I'm coming off a pretty rocky weekend. Saturday was bad. Sunday was good. I also made my first appearance in Greek television discussing Greek soccer, and it was fun. I have a 5% play up for tonight and a 10% play up for Thursday, Europa League play that I really love. And it's been going great with 5% soccer props. I have a 6-1 run in my lifetime, so it's been going great, and I'm looking to continue that today. And of course, if you get a 3-day all-access package, you'll get both displays and everything else that I will post during that time. All right,
and yes, and a prime example is Nick talking about his weekend. Overall, it's a winning weekend. And I think this is why, like on Fridays, guys, I think one of the best things you can do, especially if a guy has a 5% play loaded up for the weekend, is just grab that 3-day all-access package. These guys are putting out multi-packages throughout the weekend with various sports, and you get them all for $69 as opposed to one play for $35 or $40. All right, guys, we are going to jump right into it. First game being played today, Real Madrid and Chelsea. Real Madrid are plus 120. The draw is plus 210. Chelsea plus 240. The total of very low 2.25, which is a split line of 2 and 2.5. And listen, Pavlos, I'm going to come right back to you first, but I wonder if there's a book out there that has a betting prop on how many goals are going to be scored over this 2-leg tie between these teams, because they played so well defensively in the first 2 rounds of the knockout stages. I just don't see a ton of goals happening here. With that said, if there was a book and I played it, they'd probably end up in 4-3 score lines in both games. But with that said, give me your thoughts on this game. I want to delve right into this game.
Yeah, the thing with Real Madrid is the fact that they have 9 wins, 3 losses, and 6 draws as hosts against English sides, which is pretty nice. Chelsea, they haven't been so good on Spanish soil. They have 6 wins, 6 losses, and 8 draws. Real Madrid, they've been very good lately. They're undefeated in their last 17 matches. They've kept clean sheets in each of their last 4 matches. And Chelsea, they've been great defensively. They have 11 clean sheets in their last 14 matches in all competitions. Of course, they've only qualified in 2 of the 9 times they found themselves in Champions League semifinals. So you mentioned about the consensus pick yesterday with Colorado. I don't even know what sport is that, but the principle is the same. I think everyone today expects this to be a low-scoring match. But I think it's a bit more dangerous than that. Real Madrid, they have some problems at the back. Mendy is out, Ramos is out, but they do have a deep roster. I think that they'll be able to shape up their defense. Of course, Chelsea, we know how they operate. We know Tuchel is not a fan of fancy football. He just wants to get the job done, get the result, and move on to the next one. So I think that this is a much trickier match than it seems, and I think the odds are dropping on the they're actually rising on the over 2 goals. I think the line now is over 2 goals and not 2.25. So at least in some sports books. So I do see at least 2 goals in this match. I mean, Chelsea, they've scored a lot of first half goals in this campaign. Real Madrid's home matches always have a lot of goals: 3-1 against Liverpool, 3-1 against Atalanta, 3-2 against Inter, 2-3 against Shakhtar. So I truly believe that we'll see a lot of goals here. So yeah, the over 2 goals or the over 2.25 goals, they just look really good to me right now.
All right. With all those empty bottles of alcohol behind you, I'm surprised you even could actually say Colorado and not know what sport it's in. But with that said, Nick, give me your thoughts on this game. He made some valid points, but and I get it about the goals, but this just watching how these teams played, and you looked at Madrid in 4 games against a very good Atalanta side that can score goals, albeit they played 1 game down a man for 70 plus minutes, and then against Liverpool as well too. They only allowed 2 goals across the 4 games, and we know Chelsea played Atletico and Porto and only allowed a meaningless 94th minute goal in leg 2 in the last round, which that was pretty much the last kick of the game, the only goal that they have allowed. 16 clean sheets in the 22 games since Tuchel has taken over. Thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, I have to look at this one as a defensive. You'd think anyway it's going to be a defensive type of a game. Everything you're saying, Carm, I agree with. The concern, I guess, now is that where the odds have gone. This thing was 2.25 was widely available over the weekend and even into yesterday, and now it's kind of 2s popping out everywhere. So obviously, money coming in on the under. So perhaps a lot of the value is being taken out of that side, but I do like the under in this game, or any other way to possibly play this thing on a low scoring type of a setup. You can also look at like a both teams to score. No is another bet. I had one interesting one where it was, if you don't think this game's going to end in a draw, there's an interesting way to play it where you could take a small stake on Real Madrid to win to 0 and Chelsea to win to 0. So Real Madrid's plus 280, Chelsea's plus 420. Obviously, one of those comes through. You're gonna come out with a nice little profit. Of course, you just can't have the draw work out that way. So I was tempted to maybe throw a little something very, very small on that and just see how it plays out. But really, I think this is going to be defense. I mean, you hit it, Madrid. They've kept 4 clean sheets, including finishing off the other English team, Liverpool, in that second leg of their quarterfinal. The good news for this bet, for an under bet or both teams to score bet, is that they've also been held scoreless in 3 of their last 4 games, with all those 3 games ending 0-0. Chelsea, we've talked about it numerous times over the show, how good they've been defensively with Tuchel at the helm. 21 games as manager, and they've conceded in just 5 games, which is remarkable. And it's not like they're playing weak teams. I mean, you got Atletico Madrid, and there you got Man City. in there. You got Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham, Porto, all those teams they've blanked during that run. And this game just looks like it's going to be 1-0, possibly either way. The correct score that I actually like the most in this one is 0-0, and that's plus 725. But I don't see a lot of goals. It's leg one. Neither team wants to give up a lead going into leg two and really wants to put themselves behind the 8 ball here. So I think it's going to be very cautious from both teams. And from a spectator standpoint, probably a pretty boring game to watch if you like offense.
Yeah, I think it's good. We're in so far listening to two of you guys, and we have differing opinions, because if we're all liking the same side, that probably wouldn't be a good thing. But I get it. Nick, I looked at, and I'm going to go to Kev next in this one. I looked at the option of under 2.5, both teams to score no, and under 2.5. It was at plus 110 when I took it. And then even money last night, and it's now at minus 105 for no to the BTTS and under 2.5. It's along those lines of you thinking the win 1-0 type of thing is, it very well could be like that. Of course, those are always devoid of a defensive miscue, a penalty, because those things can turn a game on its ear completely, right? So, Kev, give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. I'm going to parrot most of his thoughts on here right now. We talked so many times on this show already about Chelsea's watertight defense, but, as Nick said, it's against the bigger teams in particular where Chelsea really shine. As he said, Atletico Madrid twice, Man United, Manchester City, Liverpool. When the big games are on the line, this Chelsea defense really shows up. But it's not just Chelsea as well. Real Madrid seems to have adapted to life without Sergio Ramos at the back. They've registered La Liga's best defensive record on expected goals against since February 1st. So there's plenty to like on that side of the ball as well. In terms of what Pavlos was saying, the fatigue factor might start to come in here. Zidane was talking about it over the weekend. This is both teams' 8th game this month, so that could be a factor here. But I think the outright draw here offers the most appeal on the match line. I don't expect a shootout here, as you guys said. I think both teams will be reasonably satisfied if they can keep things nice and contained tonight. So, yeah, draw for me on this one. Plus 210 looks like a nice price.
All right, there you have it. First game in the books. Second game, PSG, Man City. PSG plus 210 at home. The draw is plus 280. Man City at plus 115. The total is 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. All of these numbers are overnight numbers, so if they've changed a little bit this morning, these are the ones that obviously we're going with at the moment. Nick, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Do you remember the last time Pep and Maurizio met in a Champions League knockout stages? Got to go back, I think 2-3 years, but pretty sure it was the Man City Tottenham one, and that didn't turn out well for Pep back then as a favorite. There are favorites here again. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, but perhaps, Pep finally got that monkey off his back, right? They finally got past the quarterfinals here, City. So perhaps this is where they go a little further. Now, I love how you come to me first in this game, because you always seem to do that. Lazio, who I just struggled to pick anything on, and apparently PSG is my next team, because I picked against them in the round of 16 against Barcelona and got burned. I picked against them last round against Bayern, got burned again. So take my advice here with a grain of salt, because obviously I have no clue what type of PSG is going to show up. They come to play in the big games, and Mbappe has just proven he's a big game player and can score when they need the goals. But then again, they go lay ugly eggs in League One and can't even beat some of the crap teams in that league. So I'll be honest, I have been struggling to handicap this team this year. But looking at this, I feel like I could overthink this a million different ways, but to me, it's just as simple as, maybe I'll just take City at a plus price. I mean, when was the last time they were plus money? I honestly can't tell you. So it's hard to ignore that. And it seems like a trap. It's too good to be true, right? But maybe that just means I'm going to overthink it as well. I mean, they have the best defense of any team in the Big Five. They allow 0.75 expected goals allowed, which is number one of all 98 Big Five teams. We know that XG doesn't translate to winning, but it's just a very good way to measure how good the quality of the team is. Not that we really need to as City. And really, it's UCL or bust. It's the Champions League or bust for City here. The Premier League, great. They got it wrapped up. It's good to win it, but everybody knows it's the Champions League that they need to win. And again, maybe the monkey is finally off their back. I think this is it. I'm going to take the plus money price. If you're looking at a total at 3, I would probably go under at 2.75 right now. I'm just not quite on the total there. So, but I like the plus price here.
Yeah, Kev, I'm going to go to you, Nick, next on this one. And Nick, obviously, one of the star player in this that he mentioned was Mbappe. He came off late on the weekend in domestic league play with a thigh injury, but he is fine. From the reports I read this morning, he'll be fine. And just wondering, obviously, he's a game changer. He'll always be a game changer. But from a City point of view, they faced Dortmund in the last round, and I'm not comparing Dortmund to PSG, but Dortmund do have a guy, Haaland, who is a game changer for that team and is sought after. Does just the fact that you play against the team, at least your back line and midfield, play against a team who is as dangerous, a player that it prepares you for a game like this for PSG a lot better than some teams coming in? We saw with Barcelona, they struggled immensely. From facing those La Liga teams to facing a team like PSG who just had way too much speed for them.
Yeah, I will agree with Nick on the fact that this is the tightest game for me as well on the board this week. We know how strong City are, competition favourites, probably rightly so. Their overall consistency since November, has been excellent. But nonetheless, Nick touched on XGA, but there's some troubling signs there for me. PSG absolutely tore Bayern and Barca to shreds, especially over those first two legs. Neither team could effectively contain Mbappe or Neymar. And while Bayern won that second leg last time out, I thought they were pretty fortunate, in all honesty, watching that first half. PSG were all over them in that first 45 minutes. Neymar should have got a brace probably, and that could have put that tie to bed early. Do City have a better defence than Barca and Bayern? Yes. But cracks have nevertheless started to appear for me. Their expected goals against has dipped from 0.57 XGA between 1st of November, which is when they kind of turned that ship around, to 1st of March. And since then, it's now 0.82 XGA between that period and now. So, look, it's not a disaster zone by any stretch of the imagination, but when you're talking, 0.57 to 0.82, teams are starting to find more success in creating chances against the City defence. And now is really not the time to come off the boil when you're facing, attackers like Mbappe and Neymar and the opposing full forward line. I think Pochettino's done an amazing job over at PSG since arriving. He certainly, won't be overawed by Manchester City. You touched on that, Carm, as well. He's already put them out of this competition, the quarterfinals of the Champions League 2 seasons ago with Tottenham. So on top of them coming off beating Bayern in the last round, PSG will be coming into this tie full of confidence, even against Man City, who are favourites. They'll know that they've already beaten the champions. They know that their managers put them out in the last time that he faced off against them. So I can't see them being underwhelmed here. Do I trust them to win this game, though? I'm just not really sure. City really do possess a ton of quality here. So because of that, Nick was saying not to overcomplicate it here. And I'm going to look at that main man, Kylian Mbappe, here to score any time. Plus 163. Nice little price there. I've already highlighted City's greater defensive frailties over the last 2 months at the back. And, with Mbappe already on 8 goals this campaign, that's second best. He needs just 2 more to catch Haaland for the Golden Boot. Obviously, Haaland can't score anymore. So I think he'll be fired up tomorrow night for this one. And I do expect him to find the back of the net. So Kylian Mbappe, anytime goal score for me at plus 163.
All right. Pavlos, that is actually a very good price. You look at the City team, and he talked about it. Obviously, the dynamics are a little different here in the sense of if you look at as opposed to in the previous round. PSG played that first game in Munich, took advantage of every single mistake that Bayern had in that game, and obviously with that win, put them in a position where they had to travel to France and get a result there. They did get a result, but not the result they needed. They needed another goal. Didn't obviously get that goal. A little different here. in that they're going to have to get a result in leg one before heading to the Etihad to face this Man City team at home. So it's a little different in that sense. And obviously, having that leg two at home is extremely important. And as far as City's concerned, Pavlos, everything is done but this competition. They played in the EFL Cup on the weekend. They won that trophy. The PL trophy is theirs already. The FA Cup, they're out of that competition after losing 1-0 to Chelsea. So this is it. This is their treble. Let's say if they can get by PSG and then win the final. Give me your thoughts, Pavlos.
Yeah, if City win, they'll be the first English team to write history as the team that first won 10 matches in a single UCL campaign, and they're also looking to make the finals for the first time. So I think that the price is great for City. Nick mentioned it, but I see the odds dropping, which means that people are just betting money on City. And if this keeps going, I think that we could maybe back PSG with half a goal if the odds keep raising for PSG and keep dropping for Manchester City. There might be a time where you could get maybe PSG with half a goal, maybe if the odds keep raising. If that happens, I would go with PSG. This is a really tough match for me to predict. As you said, Carmine, PSG, if they don't win this match at home, they're going to be in huge trouble against City in Manchester. So this is, they need at least a draw here. That's why I'm going with the plus half a goal. Again, if the price allows it. A couple of prop bets that I really like for this match is, of course, Verratti to get a card at plus 150. He's back for the PSG lineup. He's one of the most tenacious midfielders they got. He has a short temper, a short fuse, so it won't take much to get him upset, and he's gonna start kicking people. Not in a dirty way. He does his job. He's a holding midfielder. So Verratti to get a card at plus 150, and maybe Neymar to get a card at plus 200. He's a crybaby, and if things don't work out for PSG, if City are winning, he's definitely gonna start diving or arguing with other players or with the referees. So I think Neymar to get a card at plus 200 is something to look at here.
All right, Pavlos picking on the Italians with the yellow card. You know who else got a yellow card, Pavlos? Right here, buddy. Yellow card, my friend.
I know.
There you go.
I know.
With that said, guys, before we head to game 3, it is Tuesday, so we know what Tuesday is. It's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. It's where you can get a feature capper and one of the hottest guys at each site. Their plays for only $2. These are plays that go for normally $29 or $40. At WagerTalk, it is Brian Leonard. He is on an insane 5% run, just doing extremely well. He has his first MLB 5% play up goes today, so you can pick that up for only $2. And at at Sports Memo, Don Buster, he'll be on Puck Time after this show, so tune in. He'll be on with Andrew and I. He has an NHL 5% play up for tonight as well, too. And you can get that for only $2. Within those plays, there are some additional promos for long-term packages that you can take advantage of with these two guys who are running extremely hot. So WagerTalk Sports Memo, $2, and pick up those plays. All right, guys, let us head on to the third game. Man United, Roma. The line for this is Man United minus 188. The draw is plus 333. Roma plus 475, and the total is at 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one, but let me tell you, just in the last round, if you guys remember on Stoppage Time, leg 1 that was played in Spain at Granada, I talked about how the Man United line did not drop at all. It stayed at 188 from open to close. And this was despite some guys missing for Granada, some players missing up. I think it was up to 8 players missing for them. And I'm like, why isn't this line? I overthought it. And I passed on the game. And the easiest of winners was Man United. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Well, obviously from the outset here, I'm hoping Manchester United and Arsenal both qualify to the final, because I talked about it on here a few weeks back, I sent out that 4% nationality of winner English play last month at minus 130. That's up to minus 300 now, so it'd definitely be nice to sit back with a a no-sweat Manchester United versus Arsenal Europa League final here in a couple of weeks, providing everything goes well. But in terms of this game, I have to look towards the home side here. We said this on the show before about how Manchester United, to me, they're a Champions League level team, masquerading in this competition as a Europa League team. And, that's no disrespect to the three other teams. Well, maybe it's a little disrespectful, but, the three other teams left in this competition. But to me, Manchester United, they're simply a cut above. It's like that, it's like that movie Elf, where he's just sitting there with the rest of the elves, and he's just big. Like, Manchester United really don't belong in this competition. And frankly, for me, anything less than lifting the Europa League trophy next month will and should be seen as a massive disappointment to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United as a whole. With the teams left in this competition, they breezed through against Real Sociedad, decent team, breezed through against Granada, as you said, knocked out AC Milan, and I fully expect them to do the same thing here against the Europa League level team at best in Roma on Thursday. Really like Roma personally, but they're just not at this kind of level. Do United ever make things easy though? Rarely. And laying a full goal in this spot certainly doesn't appeal to me here, as that could very likely be the winning margin in this game. Minus 188 in the money line for United suggests, around a 65% chance of victory. Again, that is pretty high, but, Roma have been absolutely woeful on their travels to England going back multiple seasons. They haven't won here in European competition in over 20 years, which was a 1-0 away win against Liverpool back in early 2001. And they've also gave up 3 goals per game on average over the last three trips to Old Trafford as well. So, a few United goals could be on the cards here, on Thursday night. Prior to Sunday's goalless draw against Leeds, United actually netted 2+ goals on average in 5 straight wins. So overall, it is a big number, but I'd probably prefer to lay it than take the minus 1 goal here and take United on the outright money line minus 188, because I think they'll look at this game, secure the win and put themselves in the commanding position ahead of leg 2. So, it is United for me in this one.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you next on this one. I watched the Roma game again, both Roma games against Ajax. They played well there, but it were Ajax mistakes. I think United are much better defensively than the Ajax team was. And again, it's also sometimes it's just the strength of teams that you play on a normal basis. And we see who United play in the PL and who they had to play in the knockout stages, being in an ultra tough group with I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was PSG and Red Bull Leipzig, if I remember correctly in that one. But Pavlos, give me your thoughts on this one. Slam dunk for United to get through this 2-leg tie?
I think so, and I think that they'll start from the first leg. I think they'll have a win here. Roma's defense has been problematic all season, especially on the road. They've kept just 4 clean sheets in 22 away matches in all competitions, and they have conceded multiple goals in 11 of those matches, and in 4 of the last 6. And just keep in mind, they conceded 3 goals against Cagliari over the weekend, 3 goals against Torino, who are relegation candidates. In Serie A, they conceded twice against Sassuolo, twice against Parma. So their defense is just terrible. So one way to look at this is going with both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at plus 128. But Munster's defense, they're not so bad. So maybe they'll keep a clean sheet. Maybe they'll take a 2-0 victory, maybe a 2-1. I really like the 2-1 here at plus 650, and also Manchester United by 3-1 at plus 1200. Kev said it. Laying 1 goal for Manchester United might seem a bit too much, because this could end up as a one Manchester City to win by exactly 1 goal. However, they did very much differently in the group stages than they did in the knockout stages. In their group stages, all 6 of their matches, I'm talking about Manchester United, they had over 2.5 goals, and 5 of those matches had goals from both sides. However, their knockout matches, 5 of the 6 Europa League matches had under 2.5 goals, and only 1 had goals from both sides. So they're a bit more careful now, and I think that they might be able to keep a clean sheet against Roma. Roma know that they'll search for an away goal, so I wouldn't be surprised if Roma scored here. That's why I mentioned both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. But Manchester United -1, I love it, Kevin. And the two correct scores that I mentioned, I'm going to say them again. Manchester United 2-1 plus 650. Manchester United 3-1 plus 1200.
Sorry there, Pavlos, as you were talking, I forgot to turn off my mic as I cleared my throat.
That's
So
fine.
excuse me, I'm not killing anybody. Nick, I'm going to go to you last on this one. I think the important thing is, because a lot of the times, as bettors, as punters, whatever you want to call it, we will look at we'll look at the past weekend's results and take that for what kind of form a team is in. I don't think you can do that. And getting ready for this big game on Thursday, you look at Roma, it's a little different. They've fallen off. Same thing. They've fallen off the top four in Italy. They don't have a shot at that. So their only chance of making it into Champions League next year is to win this competition. But they're not very good on the road. They just haven't been. So I don't think you can take weekend results at all when you're looking at a game like this. Your thoughts?
Yeah, 100% agree. To me, United, you just said it, their Premier League season is over. They're going to finish number 2. Nothing's going to change that. They, looking past this game, might be a team to play against going forward in Premier League matchups. For example, this weekend against Liverpool, perhaps. But anyway, I digress. Roma here is a fade for me big time. Yes, the -1 goal is not super attractive, but I think you can lay it with confidence. I mean, sample size this year, Roma against the other top 6 teams in Serie A, they don't have a single win. Okay, on the road, they lost at Napoli, at Atalanta, at Lazio, and at Juventus by a combined 1 goal scored to 13 goals allowed. They lost all of them by 2 goals or more. I mean, that right there is a case in point of how fake, I guess you could say, this team is when it comes to big-time matchups and playing against the big teams. Even worse than that, they're winless in their last 4 on the road with losses at Cagliari, Torino, and Parma. Those 3 teams have a combined 17 wins this year, which is less than any team in the top 6 of Serie A. So, I mean, again, I don't know how you trust this team. I think they were lucky to get past Ajax. Ajax, that first leg especially, really could have put the hurting on them, and they just couldn't finish, and a couple bad mistakes on their end. So Roma is going to enjoy their next 2 games because that's it for them for this season. They're not doing anything else in Serie A. They're out of the competition here. I'm very confident in United winning this game, and -1, I think you can lay with confidence. It may end up pushing, but I don't see this thing losing. So be careful because now we all agreed.
All right, Nick. And I would be remiss if, you know what I mean, if I didn't say this, you know what I mean, I'm going to teach you guys Italian if I have to. The G is silent. It's Cagliari. Just so it's all good because we think of like hockey. You'll think of the G's like in hockey, Calgary, right? So it's Cagliari. Anyways, with that said, let's get on to the last game because we're running short on time here. Villarreal and Arsenal. Villarreal +145. The draw is +240. Arsenal +190. The total is 2.5. Both these teams, their only route into Champions League next year is to win this competition. The current odds for the 4 teams left: Man United, even money +100, Arsenal +275, Villarreal +400, and Roma +600. Those are the future odds to win this competition. As far as Arsenal goes, you know, the one thing that I checked on this morning, Pavlos, and I'll make it real quick, is the status of their strikers. Lacazette, with a thigh injury, is not going to play. It's reported that he's not going to play. And it's very unlikely that Aubameyang is going to play. I don't even know if he's going to be traveling with the team. They said he had an illness. I thought it could have been something to do with COVID. It's actually malaria. I did not know that because it was never reported, but I saw it this morning. So all the best to him. Hopefully he makes it. But this could be a different looking Arsenal side that hits the field on Thursday. Pavlos?
Yeah, Villarreal, they've been excellent in the Europa League this season. They finished the group stage with 5 wins and 1 draw. They scored 17 goals and conceded just 5. They were even better in the knockout stages. They won all 6 matches. They kept 4 clean sheets, and they scored 2 or more goals in 5 of those 6 matches. And they scored 2 or more goals in all 6 home matches in the Europa League this season. And when you look at Arsenal, All 6 of Arsenal's group stage matches had over 2.5 goals, and 4 of those had goals from both sides. They kept just 1 clean sheet in the 6 knockout matches, and 4 of those had goals from both sides. Moreover, Arsenal, they scored in all 6 away matches in the competition and scored 2 or more goals in 5 of those matches. So, am I crazy to look at the over 2.5 goals at plus money? I mean, the over 2.5 goals is at plus 102 right now, and of course, we're gonna have to wait until the news about Aubameyang come out. If he plays, I'm definitely jumping on the over 2.5 goals. But I think that this match can go over 2.5, even without those guys. I mean, something like a 2-1 for Villarreal, something like that. I'd love that scoreline. That is the over for me.
Nick, all right, over for Pavlos. Nick, your thoughts on this game?
I don't like it. I mean, if Lacazette plays, I'd lean towards Arsenal. But the way I'm going to look at this is what happened 2 years ago. All English finals, both competitions, plus 590 right now if you parlay them all according to DraftKings. I think that's a fun little play. And probably the only way I'm going to put money with this Arsenal game is to tie them in with everybody else and probably screw it all up. But I don't have a huge lean here either way. But if Lacazette's in, I lean a little bit Arsenal.
All right, and we will go finally to the Irishman who will give us his thoughts on this game. Kev, I'm just going to say one thing. I think he's done a fantastic job managing at Arsenal thus far with the team that he has, Arteta. Can he get them through Villarreal and onto the finals against United, likely?
Yeah, well, we know on the opposite side of that, Unai Emery is, he'd love nothing more than to dump Arsenal out here in this stage of the competition. I kind of agree with Pavlos. I like both teams to score here. That's the bet I circled. It's around minus 130. We know Villarreal are traditionally strong at home. 60% of all their goals in this competition this season have come at the Estadio Ceramica. And we know how dangerous Arsenal can be, even without their 2 strikers out. Their youth contingent is so vibrant, they're so fast going forward. So I like both teams to score in this one, minus 134.
All right, love it. Okay, guys, that's it for today's show. We covered the 4 games that are being played today, tomorrow, and Thursday. On Thursday's show, Stoppage Time, we are going to cover some of the big games that go this weekend. Remember, it is $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can get a feature cappers play for only $2. Brian Leonard, 5%. MLB play up for today, and at Sports Memo, it is Don Buster, a 5% play in NHL hockey. Head over there, guys. $2. You can pick those up and take advantage of some other deals. MLS 99. Every soccer guy on this show, football guy on this show, has a package up. Actually, Kevin doesn't. He's not an MLS guy, but you can get 30 days of soccer for only $99, and that includes all 5% plays. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Good luck with your wagers, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.